This is truly happening, and you're not going to stop it. But there is something you can do about it. What I'm going to share with you is the facts, figures, numbers, logic, and the exact thing that I've done to position my family to number one, understand how to beat inflation, and number two, take advantage of the biggest shift in generational wealth in history. But here's the thing. This transition will be complete around 2030. I've been warning people 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024, and I told you the banks were going to custody your crypto. I told you that Bitcoin is going to be the foundation, and I shared with you things like XRP are going to change the financial system. I got ridiculed, I got made fun of, but there's a different mindset that I have. I'm not a hopium guy, I'm not a price prediction guy, I'm not your guy to get you hyped up. I'm the guy that's going to teach you how to be sickening disciplined, consistent, and patient. Because price predictions, hopium, are wrecking people's portfolios. And if you're waiting for a savior, you're going to get wrecked 100% of the time. Nobody's coming to save you. Trump, out of the billionaires, is one of the top holders in Bitcoin. Larry Fink is the number 2 holder in Bitcoin through IBIT, BlackRock's Bitcoin ETF. Larry Fink was just on the news talking about how their biggest growth, is through cryptocurrency, and their top performing ETF is their Bitcoin ETF. The third wealthiest person in Mexico is 70% in Bitcoin. The whole Trump administration, his whole cabinet, Howard Lutnick, David Sachs, Bo Hines, who stepped down to go take Tether and bring it in here, which runs 90% of the stablecoin market, RFK, all in on Bitcoin, are all huge proponents of crypto. Scott Bessent, the Treasury Secretary, job is to keep the bond market going. And now we have the Stablecoin Genius Act coming in, which uses what? 60% treasuries, bonds, to balance out the one-to-one stablecoin. So they're going to use stablecoins to save the bond market from collapsing. BRICS, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa are working to de-dollarize. This has been going on since 2009. We're going into a new monetary system. It's an even playing field. Trump's okay with that, but he positioned himself to be okay with that. His family, in the next 24 months, I predict that they'll make more wealth in cryptocurrency than they will in their whole legacy of real estate empire. But here's what I've done. I position Bitcoin as the foundation, a supercharged savings like gold. I will never sell my Bitcoin. I'm obviously not going to get my biggest bang for my buck. When people say you can't get rich off Bitcoin, it blows my mind. I make 50% every year off my Bitcoin. Where the hell can you make 50% when your dollar's collapsed 24% since 2020? All right, let's use DBase. But that is just my foundation. That's like the baseline. I use other things like XRP, XLM, HBAR. I'm now stacking WFI, Solana. Those are my big shots. But I'm willing to hold for years and years and years to get that price appreciation. I already had a massive price appreciation, 800% on my XRP from 2020 to 2024 when Trump got elected. And so as you sat in your cash, I transmuted my energy, which is money in motion. That's all money is. And I moved it to beat inflation. So I focus on cash flow. Cash is trash. I get cash from my businesses. Maybe you get cash from your job. I transmute that cash. First step is I put it into more things that create cash flow, cash generating dividends. I use 10% of my income to create more income. From the income from the dividends, income from my cash or my businesses, I transmute it into deflationary assets like Bitcoin, XRP are my top 2 holdings. My top 3 are Bitcoin, XRP, and Solana. I'm not telling you have to do that. I'm telling you what I'm doing. I don't believe in hype. I don't believe in hopium. I don't believe in price predictions. I just exit when it goes up a bit and I enter when it goes down. When there's flash crashes, I celebrate and I buy the red. There's zero emotion. It's discipline, consistency done for a long enough period of time to access a new paradigm. Bitcoin, we're never selling. We're going to move that into L category. It's capital DR, cash flow, appreciation, protection, leverage. We're never selling Bitcoin. But all other coins, I am exiting 50% if it hits price targets on the way up. That's it. There's no emotion. I pull 50% of my portfolio and I stuff it. First bucket is cash value life insurance. Second bucket, outside of the profit that I take, is 10% goes into more cash generating dividends to create more cash flow. Third bucket is storing money on the sidelines to wait for the big dips and flash crashes in the bear market to buy back in. And then I'll look at the landscape and I'll study inflation and I'll watch gold, Bitcoin, and silver. And that'll give me indication of where the big money is moving to based on economic, macro, and microeconomic factors. Your job is to beat inflation. At 2 to 3% inflation, about every 35 years, your value of your money gets cut in half. So they tell you it's 2 to 3% is healthy inflation, but it's silently eroding your purchasing power. And it's not 2 to 3%, it's about 10%. And I know you felt it. I know you felt the inflation. I know you felt your buying power go down. It's not that things are getting more expensive, it's that the money is devaluing and there's a new form of money coming in. I hope hope this information helps. It's time to get your shit together. Build a disciplined plan. Stop believing in hype and hopium. Stop waiting for a token or something to hit a certain price. Build a system, feed it, be disciplined, consistency. Because in the process of becoming a millionaire, it's more important who you become. Warriors, rise! Get your shit together. Love you.